Hey Sven, welcome to the show. I'm super excited to be here at KubeCon 2026 with Dash Zero, not that show.
Not the show, yeah. It's Dash Zero.
So what do you bring into this great event?
I mean, I think we bring the most fantastic observability platform, but fully based on open standards that you have ever seen and that everyone should have a look at, right?
Yeah, I see that, especially with AI, there is a demand for observability. It's something that, is not one of the first priorities developing one product, but how do you think that it fits in product development?
The specifically Dash Zero or an observability platform in
Yeah, I think
general?
both of them.
I mean, the idea behind Dash Zero is really to make sure that engineers and platform teams can focus on what they should focus on and not without the necessity to constantly keep doing root cause analysis and all that stuff. But ideally, the platform does the root cause analysis for them if there's something going wrong, if there's some incident, and they can make sure that they are working on troubleshooting, right? That's the idea of Dash Zero. And I think, as you were also mentioning the agentic part and the AI world, I think AI puts us in a very unique position that we can delegate those tasks basically to an AI, whereas our human capacity can focus on what we are best at, and that's kind of solving problems, right? Not identifying them in the first place, but then solving them, right? And what I see a lot in the current days is that everyone kind of tries to engage with AI. Everyone tries to adopt AI in a way that they just bolt an AI agent on top of some platform, and then they say like, yeah, we are an AI platform. I mean, sounds good, right? But the reason is AI is only as good as the context that you provide it with. And if you just bolt an AI on top of something, like you have like a legacy infrastructure, you put an AI on top of it, that the AI has little understanding of the context, what's actually going on there, and therefore, and I think we all know that, right? We are sometimes using ChatGPT or whatever, we are asking it a question, and then the answer is pretty unsatisfying. So for us at Dash Zero, it was very important that we actually changed that. And so the first kind of line of code that was written for Dash Zero was written with the intent that we have AI like fully embedded in the product, that it has the full context to actually give meaningful answers and to kind of be put the human in the position to be quicker with things and not just spending some time with AI and then it's worthless.
Yeah, this is fantastic because I think one of the main messages is that AI is accelerating everything and it's creating new business opportunity. And especially in this world, we need to be competitive and every industry is changing the product and we need to go faster. But not on the shallow technology, another window on our desktop.
Yeah.
We need to create value.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, the idea, like currently, I think, especially like this year is a very transformative year for AI because I think a lot of people, not companies are maybe a bit behind with that, but a lot of individual people start realizing the proper value of AI. Because what we were doing with AI in the last years is kind of we were writing emails, improving emails, whatever, like so those little use cases. And this year is the year, especially like with Anthropic, Claude, you can see that a lot, that you actually start using AI to collect a lot of data. And basically what we were speaking about when talking about big data 15 years ago, this is like what now actually brings value to the AI, that the data is available and now we can put it into a meaningful context. And the AI can start, especially with agents, can start to actually do something which helps us. Not only improving some sort of text or so, or generating some sort of text, but actually, I mean, we can, like in Dash Zero, we can do so much with it. We can help people getting onboarded to the software. If they want to integrate their data, the AI can help doing that. The AI, of course, can help with root cause analysis, issue identification, and that stuff. You can use it to create dashboards. So you can do so much, which actually improves the way you work, and not just is a nice to have on the sideline. Yeah, that is the biggest. I think 2026 will be the biggest or most transformative year of how we use and apply AI personally, but also in businesses.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And this is a sign that we are going toward a very interesting trajectory. And I know that you guys build this wonderful platform on top of open source.
Yeah.
You're using Hotel or OpenTelemetry and all this type of stuff, or some secret source?
I mean, there's no secret sauce. I think before we speak about Dash Zero, the biggest issue currently, if we look at the space of observability vendors, is that they are all doing their stuff, so they want kind of to lock you in what they are doing, right? So everyone is using proprietary standards for everything. There's little open source, and now that there's more open source, especially OpenTelemetry, I mean, it's like such a big topic, so everyone kind of claims, yeah, we are doing OpenTelemetry. I've seen it also here at the venue that many put on their booth, like, we are OpenTelemetry native, but what they are mostly doing is basically they take the OpenTelemetry and then they convert it into their proprietary standard, again, making it in fact not open source. So the idea of Dash Zero is basically two things to solve, like two major challenges for people or like for companies that are currently having big observability vendors in use. The first one is like the technical lock-in, and the second one is the commercial lock-in. So technical lock-in means if you are not based on open standards, but you have a lot of proprietary agents running and stuff, even if your contract is coming to an end or so, it's very hard for you to move to another solution because it might have better functionality, it might have a better pricing model or whatever, because like from a technical side, all your data is in that proprietary standard, so even if you get them out, you don't really understand what's going on there, or if you go to a new platform, you completely have to retrain your entire team. And that's a technical lock-in. The second is what we oftentimes see is a commercial lock-in, that basically we have like long-term contracts, 1 year, 3 year, you name it, and within those contracts, the companies can't go out, but at the same time, telemetry volumes are just exploding. I mean, everyone is, I think, familiar with high cardinality data. You know, we are all going to Kubernetes, which is great. It's also CNCF, so fantastic. We are seeing a lot of vibe coding in the recent days that people use Claude to code, which generates more lines of code, more telemetry. So you're paying more and more for observability at the moment, but you would expect that if you pay more for something, you would get more. You would become quicker in troubleshooting or so. And the situation is you're not, right? You're just paying more and you're locked in that contract for another 3 years, so you can't change it. And the idea behind Dash Zero is basically to solve those two biggest issues. So we don't do any technical lock-ins because everything is based on open standards, not only OpenTelemetry, but maybe PromQL, like Perses for the dashboards, Prometheus for alerts and stuff. So there's all those open standards. So we never convert anything into our proprietary standards, so no technical lock-in. And what surprises, like when I'm talking to people down there at the venue, what surprises a lot of people is we don't do contracts, right? We have a fully consumption-based model. You only pay for what you use, not even for what you ingest. So if you, for example, ingesting a lot of data and a lot of that data, telemetry data is waste, you can drop it, right? You can simply filter it out. You're not paying for it anymore. And therefore, our customers actually love our platform because they could go away any day. But they love our platform because it's so good, instead of kind of having this love-hate relationship with our platform because it might be a good technology, but at the same time, we can barely afford it, and we know that it will be very hard to move out if we need to.
Wow, I think we need more solutions like this, and I see that probably the SaaS model is not up to date anymore. Probably we need more consumption-based solution. Thank you very much for staying with us, and I wish you a fantastic KubeCon.
Thank you so much for having me, Luca.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.